Hi guys, welcome back to Harry Makes Up. Today I have a video for you. I was trying to think what to do today and I've been meaning to do this for a long time. I wanted to show you my interpretation of creating like a luxury high-end starter makeup bag. So obviously take this with a pinch of salt. There might be one or two products in here that really jump out to you that you want to try in your own makeup bag. I just saw this video, one that I think the Anna edit, Vivian Does Makeup, had done a long time ago, and I actually thought that'd be really fun to do my take on this video as a makeup artist. So I'm going to get stuck in because there's quite a few things to get through. I've kind of put it into categories of base, lips, eyes, and then a couple of tools. So I'm just going to get stuck in. So it'll be no surprise that I was definitely in agreement with a lot of other YouTubers and Anna's video that for me, for the primer, for your kind of high-end makeup bag, I really recommend Laura Mercier. I think for me, the reason I always go to Laura Mercier is because there's something for every skin type. So for me, I have the Radiance one in my own makeup bag. I also love this in my Pro Kit, but there's also a great primer for oily skin. If you're looking for hydration, there's really something for every skin type and every skin need. And this is just great once you have a really good primer that you can always make sure your skin is looking super flawless. So next base product was one I had to really think long and hard about because I feel like I wanted to find something different for you, but because of how many different things you can do with this base, I also have gone with Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. Now, the main reason being, I feel like this actually doubles up for lots of different functions. So you can obviously wear it, it's very buildable, you can use it for coverage, but you can also thin it down very easily by adding a little bit of liquid moisturizer to it. So rather than having a separate tinted moisturizer and a separate full coverage foundation, I always think it's better to go with something that has a little bit more full coverage if you're having one foundation, and then you can always sheer it out. And also this one has no flashback in photography, so it's a really popular one in my kit for red carpets. It's great if you have a wedding coming up or a special occasion where you know you're going to be photographed. This made it into my edit. Now concealers, I feel like if money is no object and we're kind of creating this fantasy high-end luxury makeup bag, for me, I would actually prioritize two concealers in this makeup bag. So for me, I feel like you want one for under eyes, one that's very liquid based, it's really good for smoothing, and I would go for the Urban Decay. This is the Naked Skin Concealer. Again, it's really great. It looks like real skin, but it does cover under eyes and any darkness. And then you want something like the Clé de Peau Concealer. Now I chose this one because this is amazing at covering breakouts, any redness, and it's just a little bit more intense, a little bit more waxy and finish. And this one's great, I think, for when you do have those little breakouts or you need that extra coverage. So for me, I feel like you want one to cover spots, breakouts, and one for the under eyes. There are concealers you can get that do both, but I feel like these two work really well together. Now for powder, I had to go with the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder, and I went for dim light because I just think this is such a beautiful formulation. My personal take on makeup is that I never want it to look flat. I always want it to look alive and fresh and radiant. So I like a powder that's going to work in harmony with the rest of my makeup and not make anything look too flat, but give me the mattifying where I need it and also help set my makeup without it looking cakey. So for me, I love this powder. It is available in different shades, but for me, this is the one that I would choose for a luxury makeup bag. Now, I do love the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow, but I wanted to show you this because I feel like this ticks every box. This is from IT Cosmetics. It is the Confidence in Your Glow Skin Transforming Healthy Flush Blushing Bronzer. So as the name would suggest, you get a bit of everything in here, and it's a really good size pan. You've got like a nice kind of nudie blush, a highlight, and a bronzer, and the shade in between the blush and the bronze actually makes a great kind of contour shade. So I feel like for me, if I'm working with powders for the rest of my base and adding color and shape, this is a super great tool. The mirror in it's really good, and I feel like the product doesn't get enough love. I think IT Cosmetics are really killing it at the minute, especially with their kind of color cosmetics. So really wanted to recommend that. I think that's a great option. There you've got your highlight, bronzer, blush, sculpting, all in one palette. So let's move on to eyes, and I feel like the next product I'm going to show you, a lot of YouTubers were in agreement with that this is the best eye primer, and it is the NARS, I think it's NARS Smudge Proof Pro Prime for eyes. It has the longest name. Mine's actually rubbed off now, but it's such a good product, and this has more of like a clear consistency, and I find it really helps your eyeshadow last. You can work with any color, and you just kind of pat it on with your finger, and I like to just kind of rub it with the finger as well. So you could use a brush, but it's super easy to apply, makes all your eyeshadows perform much better than they would do without this, gives it grip, and it also just smooths it out. So really love that in my Pro Kit and in my makeup bag. Now this product is a newer find for me, but it's become such a staple in my kit because I joke not, it suits every skin tone, every eye color. It's so universally flattering. It is the Tom Ford Cream and Powder Eye Color in Naked Bronze. Now this is a two-part product, so again, it's nice, it's more of a multi-purpose formula. You've got this gorgeous bronzy kind of moussey shadow, which I just think looks so beautiful on everyone. It's a great product to have in your kind of essential makeup kit as well, in that again you can build it up. You can have it as a very sheer wash, you can build it to a more smoky eye in a really intense way, and then sometimes I just use that on its own, but it also comes with this kind of shimmery topper, which is really, really pretty as well. So you almost get like two looks in one with this, and I think it's a really adaptable product, so love that. If I had to pick an eyeshadow palette for like a luxury makeup bag, I feel like you ideally want one, and I really think this one for me is the ultimate in terms of shade ranges, textures. It's a great mix of mattes, great mix of shimmers. It is the Lorac Pro, the original palette. I mean, you see how well loved mine is and that it's quite dirty and gross. But the whole top row is matte shades, the whole bottom row is shimmers. Garnet is beautiful, I love that. It looks so beautiful on green eyes as well as brown eyes. Really beautiful shimmers, and the shimmers have kind of an expensive pearl finish. They're not big and glittery, they're really, really beautiful. The mattes are beautiful, you've got great shades here for contouring. I always feel like as well with a good eyeshadow palette, you want some good transition shades. Like Taupe is amazing, you'll use that loads. Sable Espresso are lovely for kind of mixing into a smoky eye, and I actually like that it comes with a black. I think a lot of people don't like a black in their eyeshadow palette, but I think if you use it to shade, you can kind of take any colour that little bit darker, or even use it underneath a colour to kind of bring out the darkness around the lash line. So I love that palette, and for me, that's the one that I would choose for my high-end makeup bag. For brows, I've chosen to go with Anastasia Beverly Hills. Again, I feel like you could buy anything from her brow range and find something that is the perfect shade for you, which is why I've chosen it. I've gone for Brow Wiz, that's my favorite product from her line. You have a really good spoolie on one end, and then the little roll up. Very, very tiny, tiny pencil. It's got a nice waxy formula, it's long lasting, but also I find it's such a natural way of approaching eyebrows. You can really just kind of feather in little light strokes, just build up the gaps that are missing, and you can literally kind of take this up to really adding a lot more depth to the brow as well. So I love that one, and yeah, really good shade range available as well with that. Something for every skin tone, hair color. They do that really, really well. Now when it comes to pencils, I feel like I've gone with 3 pencils, which might seem extreme, but what I've tried to do in this makeup bag is make it so you could actually make a variety of looks as well within this kind of high-end luxury makeup scenario. So for me, the 3 shade pencils I think everyone should have is one nude, which is great for inside the waterline, especially if you're tired. And I love the Charlotte Tilbury one. This is the iconic liquid eye pencil. I cheat for bigger, brighter eyes. So this is just a lovely one. The Rock and Coal formula is very long lasting. I use it a lot in my kit. It's very, very good. So that one is one that I would recommend. Next, I think brown and black. I feel like these 2 colors can't be underestimated when it comes to creating different makeup looks. So for black, I've actually gone for a very smudgy kohl, because I feel like for those women who love a smoky eye and something quite fast, literally adding a good smoky kohl into any eyeshadow can really transform your look in very quick time. So I've gone for the Chanel, the Crayon Kohl Intense Eye Pencil Noir, and this is the most beautiful, soft, silky eye pencil. Like I said, you could pretty much smudge it with your finger. It's so soft and creamy, so it's beautiful underneath eyeshadows from the waterline and kind of smudging out, and really, really love that. So I had to recommend that one. For brown, it was a close call between Matte Coffee and Mac Teddy. So I love Matte Coffee is the kind of matte version, and I'm going to show you Mac Teddy because I think it's one of those ones whenever somebody tries it, they're always so impressed with it. Mac Teddy has more of a shimmery brown in it, but it's still a dark, chocolatey, rich brown, which again, if you need a bit of definition for daytime, I think is really nice. It's that little bit softer than black, and I think a lot of people find this a really good everyday pencil, but it still makes amazing smoky eyes if you don't want the intensity of black. So really love that one. So I wanted to mention one liquid liner into our luxury makeup bag scenario, and for me, I think the Tom Ford one ticks a lot of boxes. I know me personally, I always go for a brown, but I think if I was to recommend a great liquid liner, most people want a black. And for me, the Tom Ford Eye Defining Pen, you have 2 ends. It doesn't have a kind of felt tip feel to it. It's much more like an actual makeup brush with makeup in. So I find this never dries out. It's really intensely black, which I love. It's also perfect if you do your eyeshadow first and you want to then go over anything that's maybe shimmery or sparkly or a bright color, and it doesn't lose its opaqueness. It stays true black over the top. So it's really great. I think it's a nice one to start learning with. There's a longer end, which is the end that I personally prefer to work with the most. And then you also have a small end, which for some people, they might find that a little bit easier. I even use this in my editorial kit for drawing on little eyelashes. I find it's such a good pen. And I feel like, although it's pricey, it really, really lasts. I feel this lasts so much longer than any of my other liquid eyeliners. So I give this one a lot of love. It gets a lot of love from me. And yeah, definitely recommend it in the high-end makeup bag. So in terms of recommending mascaras, you know my nickname is now Harriet Difficult Eyes Hadfield, thanks to my podcasting host, Lindsay Kelk. So when I was thinking about mascaras to recommend, I think most people actually don't want waterproof formulas because they find it more work to take off in the evening. So taking aside that I would always choose a waterproof option, if you're looking for a great mascara that isn't waterproof, they also do waterproof mascaras, but I felt like for me, the ones I use most in my kit are actually Estee Lauder. And this one I use so much. It's a sumptuous infinite daring length and volume mascara. So it kind of does a bit of everything. It has a comb formula. I find that the formula is true black. It catches every single lash and you can go back in as well, which I love. I like a mascara that can kind of set once on the lashes and I can still go back in and layer without it going too cloggy. So I really love Estee Lauder for their mascaras, and I feel like you get you know, the whole double wear concept as well, so long lasting as well, which is great, but still easy to get off when you want to remove them. And I think there's something for everyone within the Estee Lauder mascara range. So of all the lip pencils I have ever used, I think this one has been the most repurchased lip pencil within my pro kit and in my own makeup bag. I don't think this will come as a surprise to you. I think many people love this, and that's because it just suits so many people so well. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat Reshape and Resize Lip Liner and Pillow Talk. Absolutely love this. I know so many people that love this, and it just is so easy to use. I feel like you can fill in the lips all over with it. You can use it under a red lipstick as like a natural base. It's also great for just naturally enhancing the lips in a very, very believable way. And I find it never looks kind of too thick on the top of the lips. It just sits in really beautifully. It has a long-lasting formula, which I love. And this color, I think it's just the color is so, so perfect. So for me, that's the ultimate lip pencil if we're talking luxury high-end makeup. Now for lipsticks, I feel like essentially within a luxury makeup bag, the most important is two key shades, should we say. So I've gone for one that's a very natural looking finish with a natural tone, which is the Clarins Eclat Minute. This is the Instant Light Lip Balm Perfector. I do love the ones that come in the serum as well, but again, I think this is so nice and balmy, and I love the color of this. This is the, I think this is 06 Rosewood, which I'm wearing right now. I love it. It's so nice that you can just do it without even looking in a mirror. And I think for like an everyday lipstick paired with a Charlotte Tilbury lip liner, that makes such a nice everyday lip color. I tend to recommend one kind of everyday color that's very easy and low maintenance, and then one super statement lip. Now for me, I've gone for a dark shade because I love reds, I love pinks, I love vibrant kind of oranges. But for me, when I want something that's really statement and sophisticated, this shade by Burberry, this is Oxblood, and this is in their Lip Velvet range. And this is just the most beautiful, as the name would suggest, kind of oxblood red. It's more of a burgundy, like a slight, it's a mix between like a burgundy wine and that kind of rich blood red. I absolutely love this. I find it looks so modern. It looks great on tan skin, looks great on pale skin, very complimentary on darker skin tones, and super vampy on pale skin tones. So I absolutely love this. It's one of the shades I go back to again and again. And again, I think Burberry does lipsticks very, very well. I feel like they don't get the love they deserve because their lipsticks are beautiful quality, the packaging is amazing. And I like all their formulas. This is the more velvet finish, but they're not drying, they're very comfortable, and the color looks very sumptuous and kind of true to what it looks like in the bullet. So for tools, I think I've got it down to 5 tools, and these are what I would say if you were gonna buy no other tools and you're kind of wanting to create that luxury high-end makeup bag. These 5 I think will see you through. So the first one has to be eyelash curlers. I think every person should own eyelash curlers. They're just so good. And for me, my current favorites are the Kevyn Aucoin ones. I love these. I just think they open up the eye, and it's like great underwear for your eyelashes. So love those. And then brushes wise, I've gone for 4. And I feel like this is quite a clever one because I'm starting with the IT Cosmetics. This is the Heavenly Luxe Complexion Perfection, which is all over brush on top, and there's a concealer brush. And the concealer brush is really nice actually. It's very similar to another brush that I use a lot on my channel, which is also by IT Cosmetics. But this is kind of like just on its own. So, sorry, with the foundation end. And this buffs foundation amazingly. It works incredibly well with the Armani Luminous Silk. You could even use it to put your powder on. Brush I've gone for is, again, one of my long-time loves. I just love this brush. It is the RMK, I think it's just called the Cheek Brush. It's super small, but it's the softest hair, and it is so similar to the Suki brush. If you can't get your hands on the Suki brush, which even on a luxury makeup bag budget is probably one of the most expensive things you would have in your makeup bag, go for the RMK one. It's still a luxury item, but this is about £35 as opposed £35 as opposed to a couple of £100. So again, this is great to have a brush this size for your powder blushes, your powder bronze, anything like the IT Cosmetics powder, or like your Hourglass powder. They're great just to kind of do anything that you want to do with the base with powder products. Then for eyeshadow, I've managed to get it down to 2 brushes. I feel like these two, again, will see you through. Everyone should have a MAC 217. I think it is such a good luxury brush. Great for applying eyeshadow, and also you can kind of take the excess off on the back of your hand and blend it out as well, really, really well. And then the second one is the Charlotte Tilbury Eye Smudger. I think this is a really great brush for getting definition into the roots of the lashes. If you want to make it smoky, maybe you want to blend out something like the Chanel pencil, that works really, really well with this. And it's also really nice for getting into underneath the bottom lashes as well. So for me, I feel like with those 5 tools, that would complete a really nice luxury makeup bag. So that's pretty much the end of the makeup bag tour of our ideal scenario luxury makeup bag. Like I said, it's not in any way to say everyone should own every single item, but there might be some things in here that give you an idea, and it's just a nice concept of like a luxury scenario. Let me know if you guys would like to see this as well with the drugstore version. I think it'd be quite fun as well for me to kind of pick out what products I would put together for like a starter drugstore makeup bag, and I have seen people do that on YouTube, and it's a video that I really enjoyed watching. So let me know what you think. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, and I'll see you soon for more.